Well, good afternoon, She Leads family. I am so excited to be here. It's Tuesday, which has now become my favorite day of the week. I'm super excited today, and I told you we had two speakers today, but as you can see, Ronald has joined us, so we now have three. And I get the privilege and pleasure, let me make sure you can see all these. There you go. You can see our three guests today. I have the privilege and pleasure of introducing you. And before we start, just want to take a minute and say, as part of this awesome group of women, what I also want us to do is to be empowered to help and make a difference with others. So each month we will feature a charity or nonprofit. And this is personally my favorite charity ever. I love this charity. So I would not start with anything except for this, because if you understand what this charity does, it's hard to talk about it and not cry. It's so amazing and so inspiring. So the first thing I want to do is have you meet these two awesome women. Ronald may not say much, but they will say quite a bit today. And they're going to introduce themselves, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what they do and how they serve so many families. So I am going to turn it over to you two, and I know you're practicing very safe social distancing since you're sitting next to each other. So if you want to take turns and say hello, that would be awesome.
Yeah, okay. Hi, Leanne. Thanks for having us. I'm Sandy Pagnotti. I'm the president and CEO here at the Ronald McDonald House. Greatest job in the world, most blessed. And we are really happy to be here. We don't mind our masks. We do have medically compromised kids here. So Debbie and I'll be taking turns, and Ronald keeps his mask on at all times. So I'm Sandy,
And I'm Debbie. And again, thank you, Leanne, for having us on. It's such a privilege to be able to be here with, a great group of women and to share, what the Ronald McDonald House is all about, how you can help us, and just to tell you a little bit about what we do. So thank you.
Fantastic. And I remember I always heard of your charity for years and years, but it really touched my heart when I learned what it is specifically you do. So I know there's probably a lot of other people watching this that are in the same position. Could you just take a minute and explain what the house does and how it helps people?
Sure. So typically the way we'll say it is that we are a home away from home for families who have critically ill or injured children who are coming to Baltimore for medical treatment. And so we are very blessed here in Maryland to have some of the most world-class pediatric medical institutions in the world, not just in the country or the state, in the world. And so what we are partnered with University of Maryland, Johns Hopkins, Kennedy Krieger, Sinai, LifeBridge. We're partnered with 6 hospitals locally. And what will happen is when a family's coming to Baltimore for treatment, the social workers will reach out to us, and then we become the resource for a place for families to stay. So in effect, we're kind of a compassionate hospitality hotel. We like to think that because of the Ronald McDonald House, families have access to that care. Because most families who have a sick child are riding the margins financially and emotionally already. And so if they couldn't stay here, they would sleep in their car, they'd sleep on the floor. What would they do? So, so that's what we are, a home away from home, a hospitality, compassionate hospitality hotel. But here at the Ronald McDonald House, the way that we phrase it, our staff, our mantra here is we want every person who comes here to feel like it's the Ritz meets Disney meets grandma's house. And so that's kind of our philosophy here. That's what we operate under.
I love that. And that's really what it's like. I've had the pleasure of, coming to the house over the years, and it is just like that. And as a mom, I know a lot of you watching this may be parents. Some of you are not yet, but I will tell you, when you have a kid, it's like your whole life stops and all you care about is your child. And I can't fathom being in a position where I'd have to worry about my child's health. But then if on top of that, you're in a spot where, you can't afford to stay in a hotel every single night. And I mean, it's not possible for people. So not only are you doing that, but I noticed that, they're getting meals, there's a place to play, there's an entire environment for the whole family to feel okay, not like they're not just in a car, like you said. It is Disney. That's awesome. So I know a lot has changed. There's been a lot of ways that people have been involved in the home, and there was a lot of things that have been practices for years and years. Can you share with us how you've had to adapt a little bit with COVID, besides obviously wearing masks when you sit with Ronald? What have you had to do, though, for the families and to run the house?
Well, COVID is, just been something that I think was unexpected for all of us, and it truly impacted the Ronald McDonald House and the families. Uh, we had to adapt with our staff, and of course, being able to meet the needs of the families. And again, as you mentioned, the fact of, there's meals every day, there's breakfast, there's dinner provided by a community, thousands of volunteers that come through this house, each and every year. So now we've had to take on the responsibility of how do we provide those meals? And thank goodness for the volunteers and for some of the local restaurants and people that have reached out. They cannot come into the house, but they've been able to support us. And then we too have taken on the responsibility of preparing the meals. The families come down for dinner every evening. They're not able to eat in this big, beautiful kitchen that we have here at our new house. So again, it's just really impacted us in such a way we never expected. But what's truly remarkable about the Ronald McDonald House families is there's never a complaint. I mean, they still feel loved and supported. And as Sandy said, that's our mission. That's what we do, is to open our arms and to make sure that it's a safe environment for them.
Well, you are amazing, both of you. Did you want to add something, Sandy?
I did. I wanted to say that I think one of the things that we've really noticed here is that, for the rest of the world, life is turned upside down and nothing is as you know it. For the families at the Ronald McDonald House, it was already upside down. If your child is diagnosed with cancer, your world has been completely rocked and changed. And so for them, the pandemic added a layer, but it's not the worst thing that's ever happened to them. And so they are already dealing in the land of uncertainties and upside downness. And so this has just put this added layer onto families that are already dealing with a daily life that looked nothing like it did.
And, I really want to acknowledge you two, because you're already in the trenches trying to help these families, and the amount of work and care and all the details that you pay attention to make it feel like a home for people. And then to have this thrown on your lap, now I know you're taking on a lot more. And I know that anyone who's been impacted by the house would really appreciate you. But I think any parent, who would be in that situation would be blessed to have a house like that and people like you running it. So I really appreciate and honor what you're doing. It's amazing. Maybe you could take a minute, because there's a lot of sad stories that, how people end up in the house, but you've both been there for a long time. How long have you been there, Debbie?
It'll be 16 years.
Wow. And Sandy?
10.
Amazing. So a decade and more. Maybe you could pick a highlight, like a story that you had where you really felt wonderful about what you did. I'm sure you feel rewarded every single day, but maybe just share something special that would let people understand what your actual role does for people.
Who goes first?
Gosh, you go first.
Okay.
I'm gonna add on, 'cause there's so many that come into mind.
It is hard.
It's
like, one of the
just
things we talk about all the time is that people ask us, literally, I think the number one question I get asked is, how do you do what you do? It must be so sad. It must be such, and I always say, no, well, not if we can help it. We can't do the things, like we can't make the shots hurt less. We can't make disease go away, but we can certainly lift burdens, bring joy to the journey, and bring as much childlike, family-centered experience as we can. And so we think the Ronald McDonald House is actually a super happy place. And a lot of good things happen here. And we see the best of humanity in the worst of circumstances. And that's just it's from the child who is, nobody's told them they're sick. They're just running around playing, making friends, to the parents who are from literally all over the world. Last year we had 50 different United States and 23 international countries represented. And these mothers, culturally, if you watch the news, they shouldn't get along. Their countries don't. If you're here at the Ronald McDonald House in the playroom, you're a mom, you don't care. Your children are playing and it's communal, and we see the richness of that. And then the volunteers. We literally have thousands of volunteers who come in, and Baltimore sometimes gets a bad rap nationally. And I say that the people who are at the Ronald McDonald House go home and go across the world, across the country, and say, I don't know what you're talking about. The people of Baltimore are the most loving, compassionate people. They lifted my family through the darkest of times. And so that's kind of big picture of what we experience on a regular basis, and what we're really missing right now because everybody's got to go to their rooms and our volunteer program is suspended. But on the flip side, because we have the best world-class pediatric medical care in the world, we get to see a lot of happy endings. You know, there's a lot of good stuff. So I thought I'd share one of my most recent favorites. So there was a family, this young family from South Africa, and their 2-year-old daughter was diagnosed with cancer, and a very rare cancer. The only place in the world she could be treated was at the Maryland Proton Therapy Center here in West Baltimore from South Africa. And so they came here and stayed with us for, I don't know, 7 months maybe? It was a long time. And she became the poster girl. This is her. Her name is Cherise. And she became the poster girl for our grand opening of our new house. And she was a very, very sick little girl. And yesterday, her mom sent me a note saying she's 2 years in remission, and here she is.
Oh, wow.
And so I just got this, so I thought this is my most recent happy story. And isn't that amazing? And so this is a beautiful family from South Africa that they will be part of us forever. We'll stay in touch with them. But that's a happy, because she had a very dire prognosis. And here she is doing ballet and looking very glammy. So that's just one of many.
That is miraculous and so incredible. Oh my gosh, no wonder you could do this every day.
And for us, that's what we refer to as good news. And we have a good news bell here at the Ronald McDonald House. And for all of our staff, you know, the best part of our days are when we hear that bell ring and we literally all come out to the front where the bell is and the family's there. And then the child, if they're old enough and able to tell us, will say, what's your good news? So, I mean, again, it's a lot of joy here and a lot of families. And for us, that's what we want to do. We want from the time they enter our front doors for them to feel loved and supported in every possible way. So we are constantly, again, bringing joy to that journey and getting to know the families and to be able to be a part of that and to have everyone in the community and the volunteers and just everyone that supports the Ronald McDonald House. That's what we need. We need your help because we're here for those families.
Oh, that is so beautiful. I love this charity. I love this charity. So I know today, actually, right after this, you have a really wild special event going on created by the circumstances of COVID, and you were sharing it with me right before we jumped on here, and I know it's a little impromptu, but would you mind just sharing what's about to happen at the house? I think it's amazing.
Yeah, so every year, so this time of year, usually we have lots of people who are coming and doing good stuff, but a tradition here at the Ronald McDonald House is every year the Baltimore City Fire Department comes and they bring the fire truck out front and they come in and they do a whole fire safety lesson for the kids. Kids all sit around and everyone loves it. It's so much fun. And then they get to go outside and they get to shoot, they hook it up to a hydrant and the kids get to stand and shoot a real fire hose and sit in the fire truck. So it is one of our favorite traditions because especially the little ones love it. Well, this year, of course, we can't do it. We can't, we can't have anybody here. So what the firefighters are doing this year is they have brought they're going to be bringing the hook and ladder truck tonight, and they are parking in front. They're taking the ladder, taking it all the way up to the rooftop, and then the firefighters are going to climb the ladder from the hook and ladder truck with big bags of toys and climb over the roof, since they can't come in the building, where our big rooftop garden and heart is. And so
Santa's coming to the Ronald McDonald House on a hook and ladder tonight.
So,
that's incredible.
Yeah, and those are the kind of things that make it really feel like the holiday spirit is still alive and well.
You are just miracles, I'm sure, for not only the kids, but the parents, because as tough as it is, like I can't even wrap my head around being the parent. Like every time I do anything with the Ronald McDonald House, I go squeeze my son until he almost pops because I'm just so grateful he's okay, you know. One of the other things that we've talked about is that there are a lot of volunteers that make all this work. And I know there are traditional ways that people could volunteer and support the house, but now there's kind of different circumstances. And what can they do now? Like they can't come cook a meal, etc. So can you kind of give us the pre and post COVID ways that people can help? And then right now, what are things that someone could do to support you guys?
Well, right now there's a couple of different ways that we need your help, and that would be if you're able to make a donation for the holiday season, also to help with the meals. That's a tremendous help for us. Also, to let you know that we have an event that we're going to be kicking off in January, which is the Red Shoe Shuffle. So there's going to be some more information coming out about that. But right now, our biggest need and the way you can help us, if you could make a donation to the house. We also have a wish list of items that we can use for the house. A gift card, I know an Amazon gift card, or Target or Walmart. I mean, if you can send us a gift card, you can do that via email or mail it directly to the house. And then once COVID, with volunteering, for any of you that are not familiar with the Ronald McDonald House and are close enough and would love to come visit, we would love to give you a tour of the house. There are so many operations when we fully reopen, whether it's cooking a meal, whether it's coming to volunteer at the house, at our front desk. There are so many ways that you would be able to help the family. So again, you know, please visit our website, try to find out as much information. We're always available for any questions, but we definitely need your help.
And Debbie, you mentioned obviously in the past people could come down and the kitchen's full of volunteers and everybody's cooking. What can they do in terms of meals though? Because they can't do that now. So if somebody wanted to contribute in that way, are there options for them?
Well, again, they could make a donation and restrict it for meals. So that can be done right online. Also, if you go on our website, you can talk with Chloe Ring, and she is our director of volunteers. So if you wanted to make arrangements with a local restaurant that could deliver a meal here to the Ronald McDonald House, that would certainly be very helpful as well. So for the meal program, I would say on the website, contact Chloe, and we can certainly work with you to help with that program.
Yeah, that's great, because also that supports the restaurant industry right now too. And in Baltimore City, I know the restaurants are only allowed to do takeout and stuff right now. That's all they can do at this moment.
And we've been trying to do that all along, is to support our local restaurants and partners. So, you know, we feel very, you know, good about, you know, reaching out into the community and helping the families, so really connecting everyone.
So of course, you know, I'm in Maryland, and I don't know how many years I've known you two, but it's been a long, long, long time. And I'm very biased. This is Ronald McDonald House charities are amazing. I like the Baltimore one, I have to admit, but you know, if you are in another part of the country and it's on your heart to support one of those houses, that's great as well. One of the things that we had talked about though was support. And I wanted to take a second, if that's okay, because look, supporting is a lot. So right now in She Leads, we've got a little over 400 members. You know, look, if everybody gave $5, that's $2,000, you know, and how much does it cost to put up a family for a night, if you wouldn't mind sharing?
$15 a night is what we ask for a family to pay. So that is also on our website. It's our Adopt a Night program. So if you're interested in supporting that, that is on our page. And again, there's contact information should you have any questions. I know a lot of times with the holiday season, people will make donations. They will do it in honor of or in memory of. So we do have tribute, and we can get, you know, if you'd like an acknowledgement card sent, we'll make sure that gets out in a timely fashion. But yeah, so adopting a night, a week, a month, anything, that would be so helpful.
Whatever works, anything is good. So one of the things that we're going to share, as a matter of fact, when this interview is done, we'll post it, is a link where you can make a donation. Also, I have an Amazon page, and it has a wish list of what the Baltimore House has, and you can click on it with the needs that they have. And the address is right above it. So in your house, if you're like, oh, I don't have a whole ton of money, you know, you could send some toilet paper and soap and some of the things that they just are ripping through and need all the time. And they're the brands and everything that they want at the house. So you could go ahead and do that as well. But again, I will always share this with you. She Leads is my passion to uplift, inspire, and empower women. And there's no money coming through this. I don't charge a membership for people to be on here. But if you really want to tell me you're excited, donate a couple bucks to the Ronald McDonald. And look, here's why, okay? Not only is it an amazing charity, but if we're on here, here's what we know. You're healthy enough to watch this right now. And in this day and age, that's something to be grateful for. And in addition to that, you've got utilities and some access to the internet or a cell phone and a lot of things that some people would just pray for and don't have. And we have a lot. So even if you're not in a great place, there's little Amazon gift cards, anything. I'd love to just have this be a community where we uplift each other and we help extraordinary women like these two and what they're doing. And if you're a mom, I know you get goosebumps just like I do. So I know you guys are about to have the fire truck come. Before we, head off for the day, is there anything else that you would like to share about the house or anything you'd like to share with the women that are watching today?
I think that we miss everybody. We miss the human interaction, and so to have a forum like this is really fantastic. So for Leanne, we always tell Leanne she's a dynamo, but to really create opportunities for people to be engaged in a time when it's difficult. So kind of our mantra has been during COVID, like we can't physically be together, but we can all come together and we can all be together in a different way. And so this feels like that, like you're adding to that, let's come together, not, and do something good. And the good right now tonight is just, us being able to share the message of the Ronald McDonald House, but also smart, strong women being together is cool. And the Ronald McDonald House, we have men here too, but by and large, our leadership team is women, and we all get along, we all support each other and respect each other, and we're proud of each other. So I think, I don't know, we're just very grateful to be here and to do the work that we do.
Well, thank you so much. And we do have some men in She Leads too. I just said that all men are absolutely welcome here. I just said you're going to hear from a lot of women, but if you can roll with it, please come on in. We're fine with it. So thank you both. I know that you have to, get ready for your big event, which is astonishing. Thank you for the blessing you are to so many families. And we're going to post a little video about the Ronald McDonald House. We'll post a link if you'd like to donate anything and anything you can do. Look, if it's $15 a night, that's awesome to be able to help someone. And we'll donate. Also, we'll show you the link to the Amazon if you want to send some supplies, if that's a little more comfortable for you, anything. So bless you both. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Ronald. He didn't say much.
Leanne, thank you, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Stay safe, stay healthy.
Have a great event tonight. Good luck with the kids.
Thank you.
Ronald would wave if he could.
He's a little shy today. It's okay.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.